Wiggy time on a fly. What's up, everybody? Sean Wiggins here, back. It's been a long time. Taking you back, there he is, Osirus. This is BWA. I've put up matches from this event before. I've actually put a few up. I've actually never seen this match. I didn't even watch it live. I don't know. I just didn't see it. I was too busy BS. Actually, Travis Blackchurch, if you're watching this, first of all, miss you, love you. We were on the swings at this very point. And I was like, oh, look, the main event's on. And for whatever reason, we didn't watch it. But we could see it in the distance, but I didn't watch it like that. This is Osirus. And I hope he's out there, and I hope he gets to see this, and I hope he gets to have it. He is wrestling an indie legend, and I say that legitimately. This is King Kaluah. You could barely hear the audio, but that is him yelling. King Kaluah, who is the BWA champion. King Kaluah, he came out with face paint that actually was a mask, which was actually pretty neat. I'd never seen that before up until this time. Whoops, sorry about that. And the referee in there, that's Zach Carter. Zach, good old Zach. I've stayed at his house actually a bunch of times. He turned me back on to World Class Championship Wrestling. He had all the old tapes in his room. I borrowed them. By the way, Zach, I'll get them back to you as soon as I can. I borrowed them in 2006, so I will try to get those back to you as soon as I can. King Kaluah, now, what is going on here? King Kaluah and Osirus. I don't think I ever saw Osirus again. And my man Sean is the cameraman there. Good friends with the legendary Adam Berlin. We actually drove to the show together. Zach picked me up. Zach, Osirus, Sean, and myself all drove to the show. And me and Zach didn't think of it then. Thinking about it now, good Lord, if there was a car accident, God forbid, or a tire blew out, this show would have had 0 referees. What the hell would they have done? Me and Zach were the only refs on this show. The Gibbstown faithful would have been, at a loss. God, he looks like, didn't Kaluah kind of remind you of little Nunzio in those tights, little Guido? In a good way. Sean having all sorts of problems here with that camera. With that light right in his camera. King Kaluah, good friends of Tom Brandy, used to travel with the Sheik. He actually did the Iron Sheik roast. He actually said a little thing on the Iron Sheik roast. There's Kaluah being the ultimate heel. Kaluah was cool as shit. His wife was there, and his 2 kids were there, his son and his daughter. Hope they're doing great. Right before he went, I was like, all right, guys, remember, Boo Daddy. Boo Daddy. It sounds cliche, but and I looked at his wife, so I was like, yeah, he always tells him to boo her. Tells him to boo him. I don't know, I found that fun, because he said it like serious as a heart attack. But yeah, Kaluah is a good guy. Good friends with Steve Carino, too. Worked all the World 1 shows for him. But yeah, if you went to indie shows in the 80s and early 90s, you definitely saw him a million times. Even the mid-90s, late 90s. This is 2005, and I hadn't seen Kaluah much before or since. Or since, I should say. 2 count only as Osirus has him down. Osirus still generic tights with the yin-yang, but it's all right, Osirus was cool. He looked the part and he acted the part. He was funny. He was a good guy. Damn it, I miss you, Osirus. I haven't seen you since. Like, what the shit? Our paths just never crossed again. But that happens a lot in wrestling. It just... Raven tells a story when him and Hacksaw Jim Duggan hung out. They went on a loop, in the Texas Loop in WCW. They went to the movies. They saw Basketball, and they hung out all weekend, and they never really hung out again after that. Hip arm drag kind of missed. There's another one. And Kaluah's going to take a powder because he knows that Osirus has to collect his thoughts, but Kaluah is such a good quarterback in there that he just rolls right out, and he knows, like, take a breather, take a minute, call his timeout. I really wish I took this match, but Zach and Osirus were boys. Because I never worked with King Kaluah, and I wish I could say that I did. As with a lot of the matches I put up here, I always say, oh, man, this is the one time I got him, one time I got her. it's always wanted to say that I worked with somebody, and I never worked with King Kaluah, so I don't know, maybe in another lifetime. But I hope Kaluah gets to see this match, or his kids get to see this match if they never got to see it. But his matches should be out there because he took care. I mean, look, his body looks good. That's a leverage move right there. The inside out. The right there. It's a leverage move, and the timing's got to be perfect. And it's like one of those wrestling moves you see 1,000 times, and it looks good every time. But it actually is one of the harder moves. Like Edge famously said, when they're like, "Hey, what move do you fear the most? What wrestling move do you fear?" He's like, "The body slam." I mean, get one guy to do it wrong, and good night, nurse. It's just it's really crazy how the most basic stuff is hardest to pull off, but you see it a billion times, or some of the easiest stuff is the most dangerous. Ooh. That hurts no matter who you are. Whoa. Got the Kaluah right there on his tights. I mean, just the guy who, look, he's got tights and boots, and you'd be able to tell who it is. I mean, a fan could leave here and be like, "Oh yeah, that guy with the face paint. That tan guy. He was the bad guy. He had the face paint on. Nice elbow." But I mean, some guys might not remember Osirus. Get something that's gonna make you be remembered. What is going on with my camera here? Whoops. 2 count. Cannot keep Osirus down. This is for the BWA Championship, which is the most famous championship in the Gibbstown, New Jersey regional area. Gibbstown, a suburb of Philly, for all you people out there that didn't know that. But I was saying before about Kaluah looking the part. Like, Jake the Snake Roberts just said it. He said he thinks 10 years from now, 85% of the wrestlers won't be remembered. And he might be right. Like, and it sounds like a knock. It's not a knock. It's just so many guys look the same. No one really stands out. I recently watched, and I urge everyone else to go to the Jim Cornette channel. Check out his YouTube because he does the watch-alongs. He watches with Brian Last, and they watch an old WWF or WCW match. And they're watching the 1992 Royal Rumble, which I think is the greatest, not just the greatest Royal Rumble ever, it's one of the legitimately greatest matches ever. Me and Jimmy Rave used to talk about it. Jimmy Rave, God rest his soul. Jimmy, we miss you. Oh, whenever we'd see each other, like, yo, 92 Rumble, we would just talk about it. He's like, it was perfectly booked. Like, perfectly booked. And every guy in it did its part. But as Cornette said, you remember everybody. You remember Virgil. Like, you remember all 30 of those guys. Can you say that today? No, you can't. Even the biggest fan right now would say, yeah, I can. But in reality, it's just different now. I don't know. It's different now. Osirus is holding his own in there with Kaluah. Kaluah could move. Kaluah had to be, 40 then? A little older than that? Nah, not even. I don't know how old he is here. This is, God, 05 was 18 years ago. It's unfrickin' believable. It's the same. Nice maneuver, see? I mean, that's a cool maneuver, even though it's a choke on the ropes. Hold that shit for 4 seconds. Like, you get a referee like me in there, it's going to be a little more than 4. I'm going to yell at you for a second to get the move over, and then I'm going to count to get you over. Zach's just not that slick. Zach looked good, though. Just Zach was a little too tall. That's all. He's just a little too tall as a ref, but, nothing you could do. Can't teach height. God, I miss you, Zach. What are you up to nowadays? My real life took over. Not in a bad way, like just in a way. Osirus is hanging in there with Kaluah. I hate when the backbreaker doesn't come off as good. It's like a backdrop looking weird. King Kaluah has his Gibbstown crowd on its feet. Yeah, the crowd dwindled. Wasn't much of a crowd to begin with, but I really like this promoter. Listen here, asshole. That promoter was cool as shit. He was chain smoking in the back. You could tell he was just, he didn't finish in the highest percentile in his high school. Good dude, though. And his son wrestled on this show, if you want to call it wrestling. And his son didn't know what a sunset flip was. It was great. It was just like one of those indie shows that you do that, some guy gets a ring and, it was funny. It was a good thing. It was one of those indie shows. Like I was fired from Ring of Honor already by this point. Now I was doing this show, and I'm like, oh look, I'm on the way down again. But is it this time I regret not trying to get into CZW more? I should have been up their ass a little bit. I did want to go there and stay there. In addition to Jersey All Pro and USA Pro and NEW, I wanted to be in CZW at this point. I didn't like the ultra violent all the time, but they had a different niche. They were something else. They really were. Then DJ Hyde bought them. King Kaluah now, side headlock. Hey DJ, he's not watching this. Look at that. That's a smart maneuver, and Zach gave him a second before he caught him on the ropes. That is excellent. Great. That was good. That was solid. We're getting up there in time. No, we're not. It's only 11 minutes. Kaluah now. Bringing himself to the... now he's only got to go to the second. Wily veteran maneuver. Goes for a knee, and there's nobody home. See, you left the back door open. Osirus got out of it. And by the way, Zach, I do remember this. And this car ride, me, Osirus, Shawnee, and Zach, I had a Red Sox Collector's Cup that I got at Fenway Park in May of 2004. It had Pedro, Schilling, Wakefield, and Lowe on it. And it was a hologram cup. And I was eating my cup of noodles in it as my lunch that day because I was making no money. I was working at Valley Ford of Westwood. When they fired me, I almost kissed the boss on the lips. I was like, thank you for getting me out of this garbage place. They actually had a business less than a year later. The building's, it's now a storage facility. The worst Ford dealership I was ever a part of. God, they were so mismanaged. Anyway, couldn't bury them enough. I missed that cup. I wish I still had that damn cup. Where is that cup? It's still in Osirus's car. It's probably in a garbage somewhere. It's probably worth $1 billion because it was a hologram. It was the year the Sox won it all. Ugh, wish I had that cup. Pedro's last year in Boston. Nice takedown. 1-2. Shoulder tackle. Not enough. And then the job. Oh, yeah. F&H Paints was right maybe a month or two after this. God, that was my favorite job. Oh, I had so much fun. I get to F&H Paints. I love the job. I'm enjoying it. Sherwin-Williams buys him out. Fires us all. I'm so pissed. Valley Ford of Westwood. Good God, they were so poor. What? Wait, was that a finish? A 1-2? Is that it? Did he get him? Or was the shoulder up? He got him. It was a 3. Botched finish there. King Kaluah is going to hold on to the BWA Heavyweight Championship, defeating Osirus as Osirus gets caught in that sandwich knee cracker breaker, whatever it was. The finish didn't come out great, but that's all right. King Kaluah, man, I hope you're doing well, man. I hope your kids are great. Your wife's great. I hope everyone's great. You're cool as shit. I love talking to him in the back. He was awesome. And he gets the belt. Zach, good job. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this match that probably no one's seen. Osirus, I hope you get this one. Osirus, miss you, man. You were cool as shit. I hope your life's great. This was a fun night. Travis Blackchurch, let's go back to that swing set. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Arrivederci and ciao. Sean, I dare you to hold the camera steady. Zoom in on that Phillies fan there. And I guess we're walking to the back. No, it cuts off here in a minute. So I'm going to cut off too. So arrivederci and ciao and sign it. Wait a minute. It's that crazy skinhead Ivan. What is he doing out here? On this show, Skinhead Ivan got himself in trouble with the promoter. And now Skinhead Ivan is back out here. But Osirus is not going to be, he's not going to sit here and take a beating. Oh, maybe he is. No, watch out there. Oh, caught him. That crazy Ivan. That crazy Ivan telling me, you're either sheep or you're half and half. He's talking, and again, we're not going to be able to pick up the audio here because the audio was not very recorded that great. But Osirus, great job. I hope you do get to see this match. And good Lord, I hope you recuperated from this beatdown Skinhead Ivan gave you. There's that promoter. I was hoping he was out there. And there he is. He's not going to let Skinhead Ivan beat up his man Osirus. Look at those sandals. Oh, man. Osirus does not come up victorious against King Kaluah, but he's going to get helped out here by the president of the BWA. He is not going to let Skinhead Ivan rain on his parade. He had a good showing against Kaluah. The promoter goes out on top. Signing off.